I'm ready.
Let's do this.
Time to farm some dubs. Crap, I got a squad on my right.
I'm running in for backup.
Yo, Ron, he's right there in front of you.
Ugh. Sorry guys, it happened again.
Damn. This is the 10th one today.
Alright, I'm back.
Someone cover me.
Yeah, I see you. You got him, you got him, you got him! Yes! Yo, that's sweet.
Yeah, it is. We about to win this.
Guys, I can get used to this.
HyperX alloy. Built strong because it has to be.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another round of ORL F2 split. And we are here today at Austria, the Austrian GP. And yeah, we're currently in qualifying, waiting for the first cars to get out of the pits. Yeah, after an intense round at the Netherlands, at the Dutch GP. We are here today in Austria, at the Red Bull Ring, of course, or the former A1 ring, A1 ring, or founded as the Österreich ring. So, there we go, there are the first guys out on track. I was wondering already why they wait so long. But the present circuit is 4.3 kilometers long, just 10 turns, and yeah, well, it's one of the shorter Formula 1 tracks, but in my opinion at least a really enjoyable one, especially because you get 3 DRS zones, so basically there are 3 possibilities to overtake. Well, I wouldn't really count the first turn because it's really hard to make the overtake stick into turn 1. But we'll see a lot of overtakes into turn number 2. The only real hairpin, well, it's actually, it's kind of a hairpin, but somehow it isn't. It's not as, it has not as a steep angle as most of the hairpins, but as you drive through, it's a really tight corner. So we'll see lots of overtakes there. Turn number 2, and of course turn number 3. That are the Remus and the Schlossgold corners, and well, then we've got the 2 fast left-handers. And just to finish it up with those 2 fast right-handers before starting another lap of the Austrian GP. And we're here on board, or not on board, no, we're on board with Leonard. And here we go down the main straight, a little bumpy down here with the little bend, and I want to just brake behind the 100-meter mark down into turn number 2. Got the best acceleration out of there, opening of course your DRS rear wing. And then down to turn number 3, you want to get down into 3rd gear, and then try not to oversteer at the exit because it's then easy to land into the wall. And oh, another point where you can easily lose your car. Turns 5 and 6 is actually, no, it's 4 and 5. More 4, 5 is a bit easier, at least in my opinion, to get through. And yeah, that's how easy you can invalidate your lap. Talking about the grid maybe a bit. I think there's been a lot of changes, like everyone, Hedges, Leonard, all people I've not seen here last time round. But I know them from former seasons. So yeah, that will be really interesting. Looking forward to that. And you know, the first times coming in, some 2.8s, 1 or 2.8s, and well, I expect the times to drop a little bit more, but a 2.8 is already a pretty good time. Top times are right. The the lower one 102, so 102.123 would be about a perfect lap. And yeah, that's of course what these guys are looking for. See invalidation from Crew 6 there, but I think it was his in lap, most likely. And yeah, from the other guys here, also an invalidation already. We go around the last bend over the start finish line, and there we go. Fourth fastest for Joshua Kozani. And Dylan gets the fastest lap of the race. Not of the race. Provisional pole position with a 102.7. And well, we've got another invalidation right here. Once into the pits. Zekov already on 2 lap old softs. Should get in now. Or is he doing a little bit of practice in the qualifying session? It was Dave also going for another lap onto the softs. Not sure why. We've got Dimitri Pantoli. Something following his name, maybe going to the race director, Dimitri. Can we see more of his name here? No, yeah, beautiful road masters. Thank you. Oh, and a big spin there, rolling across the track a bit, but getting into the pits in the end. Luckily, not blocking everyone. We've got ghosting on, so yeah, in case someone's really spun out, you will get ghosted, and yeah, that should help the people to not really get much crashes. But we can look at some more. For example, Shiritalov or Yarik. As it's easier to just say Yarik than Shiritalov. I really needed 20 tries to pronounce this name, but he won the last race on track. Unfortunately, due to a few penalties given by the ORL administration team, he salted back into 3rd position. And yeah, he's now trying for a hot lap, of course, and currently sitting in 2nd. But he will for sure aim for pole position on the next lap. And well, here he goes down the 1st straight. Of course, the gears wide open here. It's just 4th gear down here, and taking basically all of the curb, but that was a bit too much. Probably for the inside there, and got him an immediate invalidation of his lap time. Therefore, no further try on this side, as well as for Gabriel. He won't get another try. Tarabakin just started, I think, another lap, and maybe we can continue what we've watched. Oh, Crew 6 gets a new fastest lap, let's say 102.6, to set himself at the top of the standings. And Tarabakin aiming for corner number 3. Perfect entry right there, hugging a bit of the exit and the apex, and then going out of there. Not really much touching there. And into here, being carefully with the inside curve, of course, and that was too much stage of the game. It's a bit harsh with the penalties here on strict, but that's how it is. That applies for every driver, so well, everyone has to manage it. And I mean, it is still possible to set a valid lap time and a quick valid lap time. As we can see with Crew 6, and I think even in time trial there are the strict settings applied as well for track invalidations. So yeah. Meanwhile, we've got nearly everyone with a lap time, and that guy's Joshua Kozani, not sure. With the fast lap of the race, just a few hundreds. No, it's more a few thousands. It's about 16 thousandths of a second quicker than Nicholas, and Nicholas is even just a few thousandths faster than Crew 6, just 2. But let's see what Dylan does. Currently on hot lap, 11 thousandths off of his old time. Now it's 73,000, so looking like a good lap. But it is not close enough for Crew 6. He needs at least, well, it needs nearly 2/10 to get close to Dylan, or to get pole position, and that is not enough. That is still nearly a 10th of Crew 6 time, and well, more than a 10th to Joshua's time. But well, he's not the only one contesting for the fastest lap in the qualifying. Also Gatherwand, of course, who sat there up there very early in the qualifying, and of course Sheratalov will try to take a top spot again to ensure that he has the best possible starting position to get faster and to achieve another podium, or at best a win for his team. And maybe, can we take a look at Hedges? Currently 22 seconds off his time. Let's see if he can make it work in the last sector. Sometimes it's just one sector that didn't work out in the last lap, or a little piece of the track, a corner or something, where I can really gain time from. But let's see what he can get across the line, and it's a 103.065, so a bit quicker, about a tenth and a half. Was really the last sector he improved on, and yeah, that's his final lap time now. We've got the other one out on the track for another hot lap attempt. Let's see. Oh no, sector 2 looks really bad. That's not gonna get him anywhere. But Tarabakin, let's see if he can get a faster time coming across the finish line. And there we go. Also about 1.5 seconds off of his old time, puts him into 5th with a 102.7. And here goes Galvan, not improved on his old time, of course, with over 4 seconds off of his old time. And here goes Dyslexic. For another attempt on those soft tires, attacking his own 102.9. That's normally a 103, but well, 4/10 off is enough. 4/10 down is enough to be below that mark, but that's not going to be enough for him. He wants a bit less than that, and let's see what he can do. Crossing sector 2, and it's still 35,000 off, so there's still a bit to gain. But well, maybe, as we've seen it, the last sector will really count and will gain him a lot of time. See, especially the last few, those 2 corners are really quick, and that's where you can gain the most time. That's where he gained a 10th, but that's not enough to. Or did he get past Leonard? I'm not sure actually. If he got past Leonard in oxygen or something, or if they just set laps. But I think he got past at least one, or both of them. But yeah, here we go. Daniel Valle currently in P7, just as I switch onto him, just on hot lap, setting exactly the same time as Zvetkov. But I am not sure if the game did this correctly, or if Daniel Valle was like a 10,000th of a second off. faster than the red car, but I think the game doesn't even measure that. So the question is why Daniel Valla is in front of Zvetkov. So normally you get put into, if you set the exact same time as another one, the driver who set the time at first gets the position they're fighting for, and the other one has to slot behind. Hello there to the guys in the chat. And yeah, we're preparing just for the last try of the Austrian GP qualifying. By quite quickly, I have to say. Another invalidation for Ruben Pedreno. And oh, quite a moment there. Wasn't really optimum exit, and will not gain him the advantage for his hot lap, for his next hot lap, if he tries another one, but most likely looks like, because, well, in theory, would somehow be possible maybe to get another lap in, would it? No, it wouldn't be, because you have to get into pits and out of the pits again, and those animations would just take too long. But we're now going to see a lot of people leaving the pits, because, well, Austria is a very short track, so you can basically wait until about 140, 130 even, to get out of the pits, to get the last time possible, not latest. And yeah, there we can see a few more making their way out. Some of the top spots too. There we go, Crew 6 go. One Dylan, Daniel Valla out now, Svetkov out now. Edgedis, Alexis, Marcy, Dave Gaming, Prakov Vats, all of them are out now. Here a little overtake, I think, from the AlphaTauri teammates. It was Crew 6 overtaking. No, that was Dave Gaming overtaking. And we've got, I think Crew 6 is taking this lap very slow, and that's why those guys want to pass. But it is indeed enough time to really get past that. And what happened there? Looks like the Mercedes got off track or something, or he just let another car past. Not making an unnecessary incident there, but we can see Dylan is basically has basically stopped on track, and will not get around the circuit in time, I think, for another try. So he can basically just invalidate his just retire from the. Well, no, that would be kind of unfair, because this AI might do some stupid shit and just drive somewhere across the track and block other drivers. But we are at the moment watching for example, we're watching Crew 6 for his hot lap attempt at the last final possibility. Nicholas currently having provision pole position with a 102.5, and now it is all closing in. All the cars are on track, doing the last possible laps. Dyslexic and Ruben Pedreno were a little bit too late, because they're still on the out lap, at least that's what the telemetry says, and therefore it'll take them another lap. And well, oh, massive moment from Crew 6 there. That's not going to be a very good time there, not going to be cracking the 102.6s there, but I'll try to not block the others while on your hot lap attempt. I go scared the one just cross basically the start and finish line, one of the last ones to get that time. And at the moment, not much is changing. We're seeing now a lot of people getting across the line, but oh, there we see a little jump. Not sure that was, I think, Leonard. Nicholas can't set a faster time. Leonard, I think, just finished. There we go, another a racing point. Hedgedis with also 102.7, so everyone knowing those low 102 times. Dylan just got over the line. The other one has invalidated. Well, Crew 6 doesn't really get. Oh well, he got another attempt, I think. Yeah, it looks like. It's going again through that section where he had the massive moment. those two guys disconnected. Oh, not disconnected, retired, of course. Actually disconnect. Crew 6 going into the pits. Daniel Valle finished. Then that should be it. But Sheratalov, who just sets, just in the lightest moment possible, and the last moment possible, he just sets another fastest lap of the session. And we're just now waiting for oxygen to finish off this race. And well, there we go. We are done with the qualifying as soon as Joshua and Crew 6 complete their pit stop animations. And we have Nicholas on the pole position, Sheratalov on the second spot right next to him. Then why do I got this weird third person view? That looks really, I mean the car looks good, but it looks really awkward with those Formula 1 cars kind of. So we've got Nicholas in P1, Sheratalov alongside in P2, P3 is Joshua Kazani and 4 Crew 6. Row 3 is Gerd Wand and Daniel Valle, 7 and 8 are Svetkov and Leonard, with Dylan and Flex Marty in 10th. The last one to be obliged to start on the soft tyre. Then we've got Tarabukin, Hadjadus, Dyslexic, Prakavats, Oxygen, Dave Gaming, Dimitri Panteli and Ruben Pedreno to round up the grid. And we'll see us just in a few seconds for the formation lap of the Austrian GP. And there we go, we are back. The session is starting. We are waiting for the last players to press on the little OK button, and then we are good to go. Yeah, we're looking for an interesting race today. We've seen Sheratalov starting at the front of the grid and winning the last Grand Prix. Will be really interesting what he can do here in Austria. And now we go, we're on board with Nicholas, currently leading the group away into the formation lap. And we've just seen a little pit stop prediction. I mean, the soft to medium, the obvious choice, but not sure why it really shows the soft to hard strategy. It's, well, more often emergency strategy to just try and avoid, or not try and avoid, but if you got into an incident and lost front wing, for example, early on, you can just opt for the hard and well, you can drive until the end, and every place you basically make, every position is yours because you don't need to stop anymore and everyone else has. So you might get some clean air in between and you might gain some places. And yeah, we're just now waiting for the cars to get around the lap with warmed up tires, of course, line themselves up out the start and finish line, and then we'll see the race start of this Austrian GP. And yeah, will most likely be really interesting. what those guys can do here. I should take over now and bring those cars onto the right positions. We're just about to see the start, and hopefully we won't see a lot of carnage into turn number 1, because it's always a quite quick and tight one for Austria, and hopefully everyone gets through clean. Maybe even some battles on the straight immediately after, but of course DRS gets just enabled on lap 3. And there goes the lights, and 4, 5. There we go, it's lights out and away. There you go. There you go, a bit of delay there, and a good start from all of them. Good start from McLaren with Joshua. Shertolf did miss the right point a bit, but very dominating start from Nicholas. Nobody could even touch him. Joshua did a really jump start onto Shertolov, and there's no position to take here. We got a 3-way battle between the Hearts of Go 1, Crucix in the AlphaTauri, and Daniel Valle. He's actually already one position up against Go 1 and already trying to get past Crucix there. Down at the inside he goes, and tries to get back, and it looks like this move got it done, and Crucix has to slot behind, and therefore he made 2 moves. And I'm not sure, but has there been a little incident back? A few people slotting quite partially back. This Dave Gaming looks to have an incident at the back there, but this is still not everything. It's still not decided what happens here at the front. I mean, Nicholas had a good start, but Shertolov is still really close to Kozany, and well, as soon as DRS will get enabled, we should be able to pass. But as long as it isn't, I mean, all of those drivers have still a lot of ERS. I mean, Joshua's currently has not really much more. It's about 10% more than Shertolov, so both of them at the moment at the same pace levels, but we're already in lap 2, so it's not long until the DRS gets enabled, and we're about to see some more action here, and some more overtakes, which we hope to see really a lot. And here we see a different predicted strategy: a soft to hard and a 2-stop soft. Was it soft hard? I don't know even. And a back view from Shertolov. That's not actually what we want to see. But as we're going down here, is it already activated? Yes, it is. The DRS activation. Alright, we've got 3 activation points. Yeah, I forgot about that. Of course it gets activated now. We've got a big DRS train now back until 10th position. So there are no really chances to overtake, except if you're really close against your opponent and have much more ERS at the moment to finalize your overtake in the end. And yeah, that doesn't really look like it at the moment. So those guys are just, I mean, Daniel Valle is just smashing the times, and it looks like he's putting in the fastest lap of the race, at least if nobody else behind him is always taking him those quick times. But it looks like he might be set up for a good one. Let's see what he can do, and it is not a fastest lap of the race. That's kind of confusing. Let me see that one. No, he didn't manage to do one. It's the 106.4, even though he got 2 purple sectors. Was just not enough. We're going to turn number 2. After we've got an overtake in there. Those 3 are really tight together. The other one and the crew 6, which are pretty close. We just show this one on board to really see the racing in its full action, its full beauty. And I mean, Zlatkoff now just needs to get past there, like everyone else does, if you want to get a better position, of course. But in the end, we basically got everyone at the front, of course, on the same strategy. We've got a few different tries at the back. We've got a lot of medium runners, of course, trying the reverse strategy, and then we've got one hard runner, because basically he's doing what I said earlier in the qualifying. You can, or in the formation lab, not even sure anymore, already forgot that, but you can switch onto the hards if you had an incident, and then well, need another tire set, and Oxygen is now trying to take a look, but even though Dyslexic locks up, there was no room for him, and wouldn't be able to break into that gap. But here he goes, still behind Dyslexic, trying to make the move stick, and it's a lot up a place, then just 2 places away from the P10, from 1 point, or even 2 if you get the fastest lap. But that's going to be really hard against the guys up front. And those are getting really close again. What's happening here? Shertalov onto Kozany maybe? No. Just taking a look. Whoa, already alongside there. Well, wasn't really clean racing for both of them. But here we go. Into the next turn, and then another try. And there go. Ooh, that was a big collision there. Both of them had really good accident out of the turn together, so it wasn't really good for either of them. Let's take a look at the front wings. Both still look intact. I think we just had an overtake behind with Krusix and someone. Krusix and Daniel Valle or something. Not sure about that. Here we go so far. And look, check out behind. Krusix already got penalty, as well as Joshua and Dyslexic. So already a few in-game penalties. And by the way, I think I mentioned this in the A split sometimes, but I think I didn't in the F2 split and the B split. So there's another rule in ORL which applies to penalties. And especially to corner cutting penalties, the one with the warning. So it is allowed to get up to 4 penalties for corner cutting warnings, so basically 12 warnings. But as soon as you get your 5th penalty for that, for corner cutting, you will get disqualified from the race. And yeah, that's just it. So 14 warnings are okay. If you get the 15th, you're out of the race. Basically, not in game, of course, because we can't program that. But I'm wondering if there's even a possibility to mod something like that. But Leonard goes down here, down the inside of Dylan, who just in the last moment possible made a bit of space there. Was about to turn in, like to the normal turn, and oh, that was pushing off the track to me, forcing another driver off track. Not sure if that was so nice from him and following the rules, but that's not for me to decide. That will be the admins are looking after them. Maybe taking a look further up. Krusix now, again with a warning, not with a warning, with the penalty. Take a look at what that actually was. 3 seconds. Probably all of them just a bit of corner cutting. quite easy to cut, especially on the strict settings in turns 4 and 5. So yeah, that's just it. It's not real magic or something. It's just that. There we go. Continuing on the race. I mean, we've got quite a bit of DRS strength still, so there's not much action to be expected at the moment, but we'll soon see the pit stops coming in. We're now about lap 10, so there are still a few laps to go, but most of the beauty of the soft tire is over. It's not on this top spot on this quickest pace possible anymore. I think we've got a battle for the lead here. Yeah, Kozeny is attacking Nicholas there around the inside, and it looks like he made his move stick and is past there with a little moment at the exit, but that doesn't really matter. Beautiful fighting there, and Nicholas immediately tries to get this position back with using all of his ERS locking up into turn number 3. Maybe a Joshua has the opportunity to get back at him. Well, it doesn't look like it. I think he also missed his shift there, but not sure if that was the matter why he couldn't get past. Oh, small moment of Sheratal there. Just went a bit sideways into turn number 5. Let's see what those guys can do if Joshua can get that close again. I mean, he's still got 50% of ERS, while Nicholas is about 18, yeah, or even less. So that's really not the percentage you want to be on if you're really fighting, and I think I can see there at the back. Shevchelov is attacking Kozeny, and that's a bit much carnage there, because Krusik was also attacking there, and I think both ran into the back of Joshua, but Joshua's still in front. I mean, it's not his front wing that will maybe got maybe damaged. So we can look back a bit. Let's back up really close there on Daniel Valle trying to defend down the inside. Well, that doesn't really work out for him, but I think he's not defending, he's going to pits, exactly. Going for the soft start as the first one, trying to do the undercut, trying to go on, an undercut is actually trying to go on the softer tire earlier, but you can actually say it's just about going onto the quicker tire earlier. So it's basically now just a matter of whether the soft tire, the 11 lap old soft tire, is now still quicker than a completely fresh medium tire, because that's what counts. And there goes Leonard. Hopefully he can rejoin. He's fighting for P8, so he should be finding a way back before Oxygen can overtake him. We've got the first pit stops in there. Joshua now into the pits as well as Leonard. I think there will be a few guys who are not aiming. Although Daniel Vell and Max Martin actually aimed, and Dyslexic aimed for the hard tire, as well as Leonard and Dylan. I'm not sure if anyone is then trying to go for the medium tire choice, but maybe someone tries. In the end, I'm not sure. I think you'll have to carry those tires until lap 16 to really get that. Ooh, something is going on. I think. No, not this Mercedes. The other Mercedes, right? It just despawned. We've got a collision here with Rubens Renault. and that caused most likely the safety car. So we have Nicholas still leading, of crew 6. Of course, not everyone who gets in the pits now may not even get the free pit, so I'm not sure actually how long the safety car's been out. I mean, I've kind of noticed that the guys were slower, but not bothered looking up into the left-hand corner. And there goes back up into the pits. Crew 6, everyone basically on the soft tire. Maybe those guys are opting for the mediums, and that may be a good choice because he can now calmly warm up those tires behind the safety car while not having attack too much. There we go. I was about to say, well, is anyone gonna choose the mediums on the second stint? But there are the guys. Terabaki now leading the race with a 13 lap old medium set. Well, depending on how long the safety car will be out, those guys here will probably have just about 20 laps of pushing, or not necessarily of pushing, but 20 laps of racing on their tires. And yeah, we're just now waiting for them to close in. Lennon now in 7th, rejoined and hopefully takes back the control of his car. I mean, Shertal isn't allowed to overtake under the safety car. So kind of a lucky situation for him to disconnect in such a situation. And there does the game reset the intervals. Most likely going this one more lap, and then we are going for the restart. I'm actually not sure why Terabaki didn't go for the pit stop, because I mean, honestly, he will fall back a lot. The problem will be, of course, softs aren't enough until the end. Dave tries either way. I mean, he can try as 2 soft, and that's possible, of course, too. But the other choice will be a hard tire, which is of course not the optimum. But you have to choose one, and not going into the pits will, I think, not really work out for him, because he will slot back a lot. Because basically everyone except him has new tires. All of the guys have fresh mediums or fresh hards, some of them. Yeah, he will just fall back. I mean, 14 lap old mediums are maybe even worse than hards, than fresh hards. So, there we go. We're just waiting maybe for safety car to turn off his lights. As it stands, still see them flashing. We should probably about here, where the safety car turns them off. Oh, that doesn't look to be the case, and probably going for another lap, so another lap of tire saving for those guys, and that will be finally really just 20 laps for everyone on the soft tires, and hopefully then the back of the grid, especially Hadjidas, has closed in, because that would be really a disadvantage if he hasn't until the safety car gets in. But well, safety car's actually really slow, so shouldn't be quite a big problem to close in there. You can see time's dropping a lot, and it's just really, I think yeah, even can catch them on this straight already. And while they're already braking for turn number 2, he's just closing into the back of the train. But he has to be careful now already, because the turn is really taken slow by the safety car, and everyone else has to brake even more. And I'm not sure what Dravakin is doing there. Probably warming up his engine again. Gee. Well, you wouldn't do that in the real F1, of course, because that's not very good for the engine. And there goes the safety car going off, and we can see now Tarabakin is going down to about 60 to 70 miles per hour, going up to 80. Well, it's about that 60 to 80. That's where you want to be. To let the safety car drive off. And prepare yourself, of course, for the restart. Because the safety car has to get into the pits, and it won't. The game won't give you a green flag. In other cases. Oh, and Joshua just got a severe collision there. I'm not sure there were some. What is happening? Look at that. Tarabukin is now leading a second, but here we go for the restart. Tarabukin doesn't look like he got a real good start. Nicholas kind of had a bad one. He got very late on the accelerator pedal, and oh, he was wasting fuel. Oh yeah, that should make sense too, yeah, in theory. And there goes Nicholas into turn number 2 already, taking back his leading position. I mean, I told you, those medium tires, those used medium tires will not be of much good for Tarabukin there, and he will just slot further down. And that will be not really good for his stint on the medium tires. I'm not sure why he stayed out there. Well, maybe he's just trying a different thing than everyone else, and just is happy about the position he gets in the end either way. Where did he start? Oh, no, not turning off that thing. Where did he start? Somewhere in 10th or something. So maybe trying to do a different strategy to change a bit the outcome, you don't know, maybe something like that, something very controversial works. Well, here we go. Nicholas already got 6 tenths on his opponent behind, and Dimitri retired. What happened there? I think he retired in the pits. I'm not sure what about that. Okay, alright, F2 seems better than F1. I don't know about that, but I cannot watch the stream at the same time as commentating, but happy if the stream is actually more, or if the drivers give you a better race than the F1 drivers. I think we've got an overtake to come from Sheretov. Flying back, dyslexic back here. Slotting a bit in up and down. Finally going for it around the outside. I mean, you can't really much do against that. And here you can see just Sheretov closing in into Leonard with a lot of ERS. Of course, everyone could save a lot in qualifying. And now they're going for Sheretov down the inside into turn number 2. What can he do? Oh, still in front, but he has to make it stick, has to make it final, and there has Leonard now the DRS, but it looks like Sheretov got quite a good exit out of turn number 2 to make it stick even through Schlossgold, and there he goes past. Stays in front, gets himself into P6 after a bit of trouble, and of course I think in the end he wants to get up to the podium as last time. And yeah, Josh had an incident, I think, on the safety car with some other driver, and therefore he went into the pits again, it looks like, and probably some front wing damage. I am not sure who this was on the safety car. Well, if there aren't any battles, we might take a look at the race director or something. But Malmo Krusix is going alongside Andrei Tarabukin down into the second corner, and there he goes past. Beautifully done. And I think everyone just managed to overtake as well. Oh no, it's Andrei Tarabukin. He's really still on those 19 lap old mediums. They're a bit of the gravel picking it up too, so yeah, it's really not on the pace. As I mean, you can see he's battling against hard drivers, and they're just easily overtaking him through fast turns, even though they're on a hard tire. And still got Daniel Valle on the back of Tarabakin here. Next one up to slot further past those cars. Okay, managing now. Joshua gets another 3-second time penalty. And there goes Daniel Valle past Andrei Tarabakin. It's not a really pass. Tarabakin still fighting for this position P8, but can't make it stick. Daniel Valle, even though on the hard tire, is quicker than Andre, and maybe that's the point for Andre to. Maybe it would be better to have chosen the hard tire over the mediums already, because there's just 15 laps to go now, and well, he most likely tries to go to carry them on until he can get onto the soft tire, but everyone else got already a free pit stop. He said, no, I was just thinking there was another one who has those 20 laps on some tires. There's not, and as far as I know, we've got dyslexic here on the run, maybe off an overtake just past Tarabakin, who's now in the pits, choosing the soft tires for the last 14 laps of the race only. Why is the game now so loud, so disturbing and sometimes, and I'm dyslexic about to overtake, but I will not invite friends incidents. Let's see, let's take a look at that. Hopefully we can get down there fast. It's still not, we got Tarabakin up 25 seconds. We've got a lot of collisions here. Zvekov was exactly with Joshua, and Joshua got on with Zvekov, of course. People got 2 penalties, and those 2 got 2 penalties for collisions on the safety car. Game's really harsh about that, about collisions on the safety car. And Dave is up to an overtake against the racing point of Leonard, which will put himself up into P6. So quite a good race from Dave so far. Didn't expect that, I have to say. The wrong one. That's actually the wrong one too, but Joshua still holds the fast lap of the race. But Dave just sent purple sector number 1. He has no penalties yet, and what I actually wanted to look at is where he started in 16. 10 places up now. So he's basically gone through half of the grid to set himself in this position. Let's see if he can make it up any further. I mean, he's now on the soft tire. This tire is of course on already 8 laps over. So there's probably another pit stop to come. That would be kind of a miracle if he gets this tire set until the end. But as long as he can fight, I mean, still welcome to another Svekov. To do a move on to Nicholas and spins him around there, a little hit on the front wing. And that was basically Nicholas' race now, slotting back into 3rd. Well, that wasn't his race. He still has a possibility. He has now to fight against those arriving cars from back. We've got a lot of carnage here down to turn 3. To see who's got first out. Nicholas still fighting with Dave, who's now up into 4th and making his way into 3rd now. If he can get past Nicholas with the soft tire. Of course, he is in advantage. A little bit of contact there. Not good for both of them, but it looks like Nicholas makes it stick. Gelder won, then Leonard takes the opportunity to get past Dave, and Dave is even slotting further back. Is he going for the pit stop? No, he isn't. He's just slotting back a bit. Doesn't look very good to me. Just fought out a lot of positions, but he's... Oh, now it's a big spin. Just as it was about to overtake, I think, against Dylan. When I think that would be reset to track function, and that is not allowed. the F2 split, so that might end up in Owen Joshua retire from the session in the pits. That might end in an invalidation. I'm not sure if I was not paying enough attention to me. Sure about that, but I think that could be an invalidation for Dave. And there goes Daniel Valley chasing after Dylan, because then he also now leaves the session. We've got 3 DNFs already. I think Ruben was the only one to really crash his car. Joshua just retired in the pits. I mean, he had some incidents too, but none of them were race ending. We've got now Vadim leading the way on the Austrian GP. And well, he just has to stick around at the top of the standings there for another 10 laps, and he will be the winner, but that doesn't look like it. Or does it? Well, let's take a look. What is Krusix up to up front there? He of course wants that win as well as Vadim or Zvetkov. And there he goes. There goes Krusix, maybe looking for the overtake down the inside there, trying to get past, and it's still side by side, but Vadim looks to have the battery exit off turn number 3. There he goes into the next one, and oh, Krusix still got a quick line there. Vadim couldn't go that wide because he was still alongside, and there goes Krusix now up front, and now he turned the things upside down, and he has now the quicker exit down into the last few turns. He takes the lead of the race for now, gets another 3-second time penalty. See how much they have. Krusix actually on 6th and Vadim on just 5. So in theory, Vadim still can take this win even from behind Krusix, but that's not what he wants. He says, I want to get past Krusix there, and he does basically. Shot past there on the straight, and there is the end plate of an Alfa Romeo getting into the picture. And it's now Wiakov who is actually in P2, and it should be Nicholas in the end, even though Krusix gets the outside line there. Nicholas assures himself the 2nd position. Krusix is now just trying to hold on to P3, not fall off the podium. Well, we maybe can take a look at back here, where Leonard is challenging the other one for a little battle, and we're already looking down here into the first of 3 DRS straights for an overtake. Krusix is also, he got a bit slower. Leonard is still really close there. And oh, a massive moment from Leonard there, and the hit with Sheratalov, and that was not how the race of both was planned. Both of them lost front wing, did they? Yes, Sheratalov there with a missing end plate, and Leonard also with lots of parts missing there. Yes, no, he's missing the exact opposite end plate actually. And yeah, there we go. It looks like he's very close, but actually it's, I mean, it's Sheratalov and Leonard who both have not penalties, but well, Sheratalov has a penalty, but Leonard not. But what I was about to say was that they have damage, and that's probably they're going into the pits now. I'm not sure if that is of much use if they stay out and try to rescue this race somehow on track. I mean, it still could be possible to carry on track. I don't know if the guys behind will close in much, but well, we have to see. I mean, Sheratalov gets into the pits and retires. That was a bit of, I mean, of course, it's not his fault. It was, well, it was basically Leonard's fault, but he was just losing control of the car. So yeah, it's a bit unfortunate for both, but that's the way it is. That's racing. I mean, Leonard didn't do that on purpose or something. It wasn't in the battle really. Just spun, or not completely, but enough to touch Sheratalov there. And He himself is still trying to race it, trying to stick to with his teammate for the 2 points he will be getting if he can stick to the 9th place he is on at the moment. See, I mean, top 3 still fighting. They're still in 3 to 4 tenths of second range, and that will be quite interesting, especially on the straights that everyone is closing in a lot. And I don't even want to know how much ERS is burned down those straights. I mean, basically, the rest of the circuit you don't even use the overtake button just to have as much energy as possible for those three DRS straights to get just a better exit than everyone else does. And this beautiful battle here up front will be getting really interesting later on now. That gets crucial because we were close to Nicholas. So this part of the circle, we've seen him before being a bit quicker there, at least during the overtake. So maybe that's a bit of his more of his strength, more of his strong side. Or we saw Nicholas overtaken into turn number, was it 3 I think, or was it already 2? The Remus hairpin. Well, it doesn't matter now. I mean, Nicholas in front of Crucix, and Crucix wants to change that. Nicholas doesn't want to change that. So both of them still in attack mode. But Tsvetkov does a really good job managing to keep them behind. There goes Nicholas just for a look, but it's still not enough. He is still not close enough to make it past there. And with 5 laps remaining on this race, it is gonna be a really tight battle for P1 here. And I mean, you can see Crucix again closing in into this section, but then he loses out on the other ones. I mean, maybe Nicholas isn't using ERS on this section or something, which Crucix does. I'm not sure. Let's see on what percentage they're on. Crucix is 75%. They've got a lot left, and the front 2 just got about 25 or 15 left. And so that's going to be really interesting in the end. And Crucix has the possibility to go way quicker than Nicholas. Not sure what's it looking like with the other one. It's looking basically the same as with Crucix there. And you can see it's just basically a train of cars, not a car of trains. But none of them, and at the moment, managed to get really close. I mean, oh, a little hit there. That I'm not sure if that's maybe a light green front wing. Could be a bit damaged. I'm not sure about. Oh wait, is the stream still watching? Is reloading? Yes, it is. Just making sure. A little error on my end. There goes Gab Wonder. Crucix is now really closing in on Daniel Valle as well. So it's not only the battle between those 3 at front. There are a few mates who want to join this fight. I mean, Dylan, if he gets close enough, also takes the place and joins there. Let's see what he can do. What's possible. I mean, Nicholas already took a look there up front again. Oh, we see a little bit hits, and that's it possibly for Nicholas. That's it basically. That is very close battling. And that's very close battling there with Nicholas and those guys. And Crucix got another pass. I think they touched a bit, and well, Nicholas just had the advantage. I mean, Gale 1 is still side by side with Daniel Valle, who wants to get past there, and even though he's on hard time, ooh, that looked a bit weird. Dylan Ferrari took a really wide line there to avoid those 2, and yeah, no, it's Dylan also really close to Daniel Valle, and that will be an interesting fight until the end of the race now. And we've got 3 laps remaining, and it's still not decided who will win this race yet. I mean, Crucix is really close. And if he just keeps spearing, there goes Daniel Valle past with the just I know he was already in front. He wasn't going past. Of course, he was fighting or defending against Dylan, breaking a lot later. So Rabikin's fighting himself up into P8 again. Dave settled himself into 11th now after this bit of a moment, and yeah, that's about it. I mean, we've got still Crucix pretty close, and Nicholas now fell a bit back a bit, so he would need to fight up again, but he has no ERS. There's 6% left now, and maybe an interesting thing. Take a look at penalties. I mean, so far, even though Nicholas is just in third, he will win the race on penalties because he has none. Crucix and Zvekov both have penalties. And there goes Crucix for the lead of the race, past Svetkov, but as I said, both of them won't win the race as long as they don't get 5 seconds off of their followers. Yeah, I mean, even Crucix needs to, if he wants to stay in front of Tvetkov, even after applying the penalties, he still needs the 1 second gap, and I'm not sure if he can do that on 1 lap. I mean, he still has a lot of ERS, so it could be possible. And yeah, so Nicholas will probably take the win here, as long as nothing really unexpected happens. I mean, even though if Gelderwan gets past now, that's not really a danger to him. He has no penalties, and everyone else has 6 seconds. That's no big problem. Crucix now needs 0.3 of a second to get clear of Zvatkov, and that's all it takes. Ooh, Gelderwan shooting past there, hitting Svetkov. I'm not sure what his mission was there, but Svetkov fell now back to 4th. That wasn't really the way how you drive in at this high split, in this high level. It was really aggressive, and Zvekov now struggling with the grip there, and well, that's going to be P2 for Crucix. Even though he's of course leading the race now and bringing it probably over the line, but well, that's going to be it. That's going to be it. Maybe Gelderwan gets past Daniel Valle. I'm not sure. That looks like it's it. Now we see Nicholas basically in P1 now, Crucix P2, Dylan in 3, Tvetkov in 4th. See this big pack. They finished. Dylan dyslexic basically next to Tvetkov. That was basically a photo finish until the end. Nicholas still wins with about 3 seconds of a gap due to the penalties. Yeah, that one wasn't really nice driving there, especially from Gelderwan. And yeah, that wasn't really clean. Even though Nicholas a deserved win, even though he got hit a few times. Crucix in 2nd there, and still got, who was actually in 3rd? What's now? Dyslexic followed up the most positions, probably because that's why the game's picking somebody as the driver of the day. Here we go with Nicholas on the podium, and Crucix on the 2nd spot. And we've got Dylan and Dyslexic in the Ferrari, so this is probably Dylan, if I'm not completely wrong. And yeah, he of course the constructor of the winner, the Alfa Romeo team. There we go, yeah, exactly. It was Dylan on 3, Svetkov on 4, Dyslexic on 5. Good day for the Ferrari team today. Van Gelderwan in 6th, Daniel Valle in 7th, Leonard in 8th, Tarabukin in 9th, and Dave in 10th. Opraka, Vats, Hedges, Flexus, Marcy, Oxygen, and Chevertalov. The rest of the group, I think Chevertalov also retired. Yes, he did. Josh, Dimitri, and Ruben Pedreno did too. I want to take a quick look at the incidents, maybe. Let's see if we can make it in 20 seconds to scroll all the way down. If the league admins want to take a look at those later on. And yeah, that was the Austrian Grand Prix for today. And I'll take a look if I can get some drivers into the commentary booth while I'm going to get the stream into an outbreak, and we'll see if someone likes to join us. And yeah, until then, I'll try to get someone into the commentary booth. Hopefully not too mad after this race, and yeah, see you later then. So there we are. In the interview booth, in theory. And looking if some of the guys wanted to join us. Yeah, we've got a confirmation from our race winner. And, well, also pole sitter. And, yeah, exactly. So there we go. Let's see if the guys get in. Hello.
Hello.
So we'll just. Well, how would you start? I mean, kind of fits. P3 for you. You started. Where did you actually start? No,
P9, I believe.
So well, that was a great race from you. Gained 6 positions. I mean, in general, the Ferrari team did make some good points today. How is the race from your perspective?
Yeah, this is one of those races, you know, where I was coming in just hoping to snatch a point or two. It's one of my worst tracks. But that race, in practice, I was constantly getting penalties after penalties after penalties. So to get away with only 3 seconds, I'm chuffed with, you know. I think that's what really made it in the end.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've seen it with Nicholas winning on zero penalties, while the other ones all had one, or at least one. Most of them had even 2. I mean, the game is pretty harsh in those fast corners in the sector 2 to 3, and yeah, so exactly. Well, what was with the safety car? Was quite unexpected. I mean, I nearly commentated over it and forgot about it. How is this playing into your strategy?
Yeah, it's like I think I worked out if that safety car hadn't come out, I think I would have jumped quite a few people. So in that respect, it messed up my race a little. But I just thought, you know, what am I losing by boxing for mediums? I'm gonna make it to the end. I know I'm gonna make it. You know, may as well make the best use of it I can, especially with the DRS trains around here.
Yeah, I was just at the moment I was talking about whether people would even box onto the medium tires in the end, because there were a lot of hard stoppers coming in. But I mean, with the safety car, you safely got another 2 laps at least for warming up the tires and not stressing them. So I think was a pretty good choice. And yeah, well done to you. Jumped 6 places up there, so
yeah, thank you.
And there's Nicholas exactly. Maybe we'll see Crew 6 later on too. I don't know. So Nicholas, you there?
Yeah, hi, how are you?
Oh, there. I'm fine, thanks. So started from P1. Well, good qualifying run, I think. Placed yourself there very confidently, and then heading into the race, confident start, good beginning, and then struggled a bit in the middle to the end. Yeah, talk us through it. What happened?
Yeah, so the qualifying was really good. I don't know where that came from. I was normally running 102.6 when I was practicing, so I was happy with that. And then start of the race, as you said, was fairly good. The middle of the race, you were right, it was a bit slow on my part, and then once I dropped back a bit, it sort of fired me up to get going again. I'm not sure what happened and why my pace dropped off so much, but I'll definitely be looking into that.
Yeah, alright. I mean, in the end, you managed it to stick with the guys. I mean, you had some collisions there. With I think Crew 6, and we're even slotted back a bit, and yeah, but you still managed to win because of penalties. I mean, did you train much on not corner cutting on this track? Because, well, it's very easy to invalidate a few times, especially if you're pushing there. Or we're just keeping it safe generally.
To be honest, the first few laps I was really going for it. Then by lap 7, in the space of 2 corners, I got 2 warnings. So I was really cautious after that. As in on the very last lap through the last 2 corners, I have never been so slow through there. But yeah, it was stressful after that, but really a great race overall.
But yeah, I mean, I think still wait, so let me look at the time. I think even though if you have a 3-second penalty, you would still have won, because yeah, you were 3 seconds in front of Crew 6 because of his penalties, so you would still be leading it even though you had another penalty. But anyway, congrats to you for P1, for a victory, adding 25 points. Well, you've got no point for the fastest lap today, because that was set by Prokar, who's in 11th. But yeah, thank you for joining, both of you. Congrats to your positions, and yeah, we'll see us next time. Where do we see us? What's that gonna be for a race? Wait. It's gonna be Japan, but the short version on the end of January, in 1 week exactly. So then we will see you there.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yep, thank you.
And yeah, I wish you and the chat, of course, everyone who's watching, good night, and we'll see you next week in Japan, in Suzuka, at the short track. Until then, see you guys, and hope you tune in next time.